Do you have the keys to the code? We're all waking up to something big. Let's explore the mystery together every Tuesday night on Awakening Code Radio.
We were talking about, people kind of stepping into their own healing. They might not call themselves a shaman, but I think a lot of people feel very motivated to heal, to be healers.
Well, the bringers of light are really waking up, and the light workers that have been around for a long time, there are a lot of new people coming in, and a lot of people that have been into it for a long time that have been sort of waiting for the age of Aquarius to happen and the golden age to come upon us. And now it's here. I think that perhaps we lived in a time where we all recognized each other as a healer, and we all knew the power of our bodies as a healing mechanism. I mean, our livers regenerate, our organs regenerate, our skin regenerates, our skin grows back when we cut ourselves. I mean, we are amazing beings, and I may use words like vibration or magic or Jaguar energy healing. I don't know where that one came from, but I may use these words, but the truth is that we have this ability within us, and it's lying dormant. And that's why I really believe that it's just sort of lying dormant. And so those people that are really still stuck in the curmudgeon, angry, down with the government kind of mentality, everything's wrong with the world, that kind of mentality, it's harder for them, sweet souls. It's just harder for them. Whereas the people that are like seeking or wanting or knowing that, gosh, there's 11:11 on, why is that happening, or whatever it is, that those people have a better chance because they are looking to have a better life, and they have some sort of feeling that it is possible. It doesn't all just belong to the movie stars in Hollywood.
Yeah, and there's a lot of expressions of that in some form. And Buckminster Fuller he's one of my heroes, and he kind of expressed it is, if you want change to happen, you create the new reality. You don't fight the old reality.
Exactly.
You don't spend tons of energy, time, effort, attention on everything that's wrong and dive into the wrong system and think you're changing it that way. You're focused on the prize ahead. You're functioning as if it's already in place. You're living your life as if that system is already in place. Everyone is behaving like you want to see people behaving, and the only person you have any control of in this process is you.
Exactly.
You have to pretend that system is already in place of people being kind and considerate, watching out for each other, and you're going to go out into the world and be a part of that system.
Well, I love what you said, Eric, about the ripple effect. You're not alone.
Right.
We're not alone.
Everything you do has effect.
Has some type of ripple effect. And if you're the only person in your community or in your family that can start to speak more positively and say no more to gossip and lies and manipulation and judgments, I mean, it has to start with you. And this is really the whole crux of this show, is how do you start with you? How do you begin to, you listen to Eric's show, you're beginning, you're getting it, and you take some of the tidbits that you get here and you take it to the workplace, or you bring it into the family conversation, and you try to introduce a few words like compassion, or vibration, or shifting your consciousness.
How about empathy?
Or watching what you say.
Yeah.
Being more conscious, you guys. It's just more conscious.
It really is about
awareness.
Are you still throwing trash out of the window? No.
No. Right. There's a lot of things that we do. And, social media has really served it. We get to, for all the crap that's always out there, we do get to see lots of empowering things. We get to see kids stepping forward when someone's bullied now and rallying around someone. I mean, we get to see encouraging stories of kids being brave and supportive of that. There's lots of that, and the millions of hits that videos like that show that that's what we vibrate with. I mean, we vibrate with the Christ consciousness message. We vibrate with the Buddhist message of compassion and peace. We vibrate with Martin Luther King's message of, peaceful, a way of getting things done. we vibrate with them, but then it goes back to we haven't been very good at implementing them. But that doesn't matter. What we can say, yes, okay, historically, true enough, but history is behind us. We're focusing our attention on we want to act more in accordance with the things that we know. And deep down at a soul level, we know these things.
We do.
They're not so challenging. You don't have to go to the mountain and hear it from the one. It's something that's in your heart already that you know.
Here's the thing. You know but the difference between right and wrong. You know the difference.
Right. And we'll call right and wrong because sometimes you get into there is no good and bad. Right and wrong. Right, I would say, is what serves the community, the global community, serves you, serves all. Wrong, if just for the moment we'll say wrong, is what depletes you, weakens the community, but, causes destruction of you and then radiate destruction out versus you can choose things that grow you and are in your health best interest, your calm attitude, your inner peace. We'll call those right and wrong.
That's it, right there. I mean, for me, it's a lie and the truth. I mean, it's, are you lying? I always say, where are you still lying to yourself?
No.
And a lie can be when you pass by the mirror and call yourself ugly or fat. You're lying. You're perfect, exactly the way you are. You're perfect. And we do it to ourselves. I say we cast spells on ourselves every day. We cast spells on ourselves every day. Every time we look into the mirror or we say something negative about ourselves, we're casting a spell of negativity. There's a great book from the 1920s. This is nothing new, you guys, okay? Robert Collier. You go find a book called Secret of the Ages. Robert Collier wrote a book in the 20s on this, positive thought.
This almost sounds like Mandy.
I was going to say.
Manly
Palmer Hall.
Manly Palmer Hall sounds like it from the 20s also. And it was
so people were, they were working toward getting us to be more positive in our thought and not worry so much.
Right.
It just takes us out of the moment. Our minds are very, very interesting. I started really, because my mind, Gemini brain, and where I always talk about where I came from, and I can again briefly do it on this show. I was in the pits of hell. I was a drug addict. I was a teenage mom. I was a runaway. I was married to a guy 20 years older than me. That I was a battered wife. I mean, I was in prison for drugs. He died of cancer. I mean, I can just go on and on and on with all this life story that could have me in the gutter still. But in 1991, I got pregnant with my daughter, Victoria, and I used that as a catalyst to change my life. She became my victory over drugs. And I just made a conscious decision to go to Orange Coast College and go back to school and make myself a better person, and started reading Louise Hay and Doreen Virtue. And that was the beginning for me of shifting my consciousness. So it's 22 years later, and I'm still, working toward how to have a really clear mind and not allow myself go into any type of victim or self-pity or, lack. I call it the lack consciousness. And so if I'm still working at it, I'm much, much better than I ever was before, but I've come up with tricks. I've come up with little things that I do that I teach people, and I can speak from an honest place. I know what you're going through. I know exactly what you're going through. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's vigilance. It's every day, and it's every time that negative thought wants to come into your head, what are you going to do with it? And how are you going to react? And to yourself. How are you going to react to yourself? How are you going to react and teach yourself and be the best mama daddy? I always say, be the best mama daddy you ever had. Raise yourself to be the conscious individual that you want to be.
Awakening Code Radio is available on podcast. Visit www.kx935.com.